During this quieter phase of your sale, it's not uncommon for a buyer to request access to your home for measurements and planning. Typically, a purchase and sales agreement prepared by real estate attorneys will grant the buyer 3 or so visits to your property. Beyond that is completely up to you. Please note that no permission will be given to conduct renovations or work to property. You still own it, and if the transaction were to fall through, you would be stuck with whatever projects remained. At this point, if you have not done so already, it's time to coordinate and finalize plans with your moving company. In some cases, your move is a day or two before closing, and sometimes the day of. Sometimes a seller requires the funds from the sale of their home for the purchase of the very same day. Make sure you are prepared and ready to go, as delays can cause a chain reaction that disrupts multiple buyers and sellers simultaneously. If you have valuable items that you don't need, more likely than not, your buyer will appreciate them. Leaving items for the buyer must be with permission, as your purchase and sales agreement will indicate the property will be vacated and put in broom-swept condition. Otherwise, your buyer may appreciate the things you have had to maintain the property: landscaping, snow removal tools, window dressings, paint, furniture, etc. Sometimes your buyer will even ask if you're leaving certain items. Instruction manuals for large appliances and systems are also valuable. Having them in an accessible location will prove of great use to the new homeowner. On the day of closing, your buyer will walk through the property to ensure it is in the same condition that it was in at the time of the signing of the purchase and sales agreement, without your personal items, of course. At this stage, it's not uncommon for them to notice things they didn't see when they originally toured the property: scratch marks, minor defects, imperfections, etc. We're specifically concerned with things that weren't reported to the buyers. If there is something new that could create problems, please notify your team member as soon as possible. If you have spent enough time in this business, you know that things do happen, and it's not entirely crazy that catastrophe can occur with impeccable timing. We have seen basements flooded from storms the day of closing. Fortunately, we're prepared for these types of incidents, and you will find that if all parties are in communication, things can move forward, even if it's not that day. Take a deep breath and a big sigh of relief. Our next step is closing. Some sellers love to meet their buyers at the closing itself and share stories about the home, leave gifts, and send well wishes. It's closing, and it's also closure. However, your attorney may advise you not to attend closing, considering that issues can sometimes arise over a more tumultuous transaction. Signing a power of attorney clause allows your attorney to sign the deed on your behalf, and your funds will be deposited into your designated account after the lender or bank transmits them.